So I listened to your rabbi's sermon, one of them from High Holidays, because what happens after High Holidays is that everybody shares the sermons from their rabbis that they thought were share-worthy sermons, mostly to show their Jewish friends that didn't go to their shul how much better their rabbis are. And Scott, I want you to know that members of my community sent me your sermon. And the truth is, I had given a very I'm sure Rabbi Scott gave more than one sermon. They sent me the one on talking about Israel, and I had given a very similar sermon. The basic thesis being, the world and the Middle East is a convoluted, painful place where good people differ on how we solve problems. Good people who care about justice, who care about people, who care about the coexistence of Israelis and Palestinians can still arrive at different conclusions. And for those of us that live here in America, we don't make the world a better place by cannibalizing our communities. That was sort of, my upshot. And that we need one another to be strong in this moment, for one another, even as we may stand in disagreement. And so since the election, people being kind and loving have reached out to say, hey, Rabbi, how are you? Hard time, right? And I'm like, are you kidding? We are all in agreement for the first time in a year. Woo! Am I upset? Yes, of course I'm upset. But for the very first time, I feel like I can exhale in the room and not worry who I might offend or who might, send me an email after whatever it is that I said that I thought was okay, but it turns out if you just turn it a little bit, no, actually. I feel utterly confident that the tsuris of the last year, that for people who stayed in the room and hung on and hung in and weathered this past year together, that the payoff is now. We get to stand shoulder to shoulder together with our community and with other communities to show up. And we need one another, and we need one another to be strong and healthy and well-rested and caffeinated if you need to be caffeinated, and to eat nourishing food. We need our rabbis and leaders to be strong so they can support us. We need to be able to hand off the baton to one another because not all of us in all moments can, muster the reactive posture that we find ourselves in so consistently in times like these. And so among our tools for resilience, personal and communal, is joy, and is Shabbat, and is pleasure, is oneg, is what we're doing here. Last night, many of you heard me say, it didn't occur to me until fairly recently that Judaism's not just meaningful or fun, it's actually a survival mechanism. It is a life raft for us. The theme of the music that I want to share today is resilience in one form or fashion. This is a piece of a poem called A Brief for the Defense by Jack Gilbert. The poor women at the fountain are laughing together between the suffering they have known and the awfulness in their future. They are smiling and laughing while someone in their village is sick. There is laughter every day in the streets of Calcutta, and the women laugh in the cages of Bombay. If we deny our happiness, resist our satisfaction, we lessen the importance of their deprivation. We must risk delight. We can do without pleasure, but not delight, not enjoyment. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of this world. To make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil. I encouraged everybody in our community to find a mantra after the election. I had everybody turn to a neighbor and say, what's something that helps you remember that to make injustice the only measure of our attention is to praise the devil? And so this first piece is a prayer for presence, for celebrating this sacred moment. It is a Shehechianu. And the words for it, you'll notice, are a little bit different than the traditional Shehechianu. The words come from Marcia Falk, who is a poet. When I was in college, Rabbi Patricia Carlin Newman taught a Judaism and feminism class, and she introduced us to the Book of Blessings. And it's a big, thick, beautiful book of blessings that, much like the Reconstructionist Siddur, takes the God language out of the sort of vertical, we praise, or blessed are you, and reclaims it and says, we praise, nivarech, and then gives it a metaphor, not just in the English, but also in the Hebrew. Mayan chayenu, the wellspring of our lives, the ever-giving, ever-gushing forth wellspring. So I want to invite you to take a moment to consider what it is you are this day singing for. What are you boundlessly grateful for, but haven't had a chance to think about it yet today? Weird cramp. Okay, thank you. I'll sing it once for you, and then you can join me. I wrote this tune in college. Nivarech et mayan chayenu chay ha'olami shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh, lazman that has sustained us, given us strength and enabled us to reach this time, to reach this time. This next song was written right after the Tree of Life shooting by the group Nefesh Mountain, because I think they, like all of us, suspected and knew that music sometimes, when there are no words, is really the only balm that brings people together. And this is as much a prayer for the future as it is trying to offer comfort in the moment. Feel free to let this be like a lullaby or to sing with me if you want. Oh, this doesn't sound right. Hang on. I don't know. What do we think is the problem? It just sounds... Right. No. I don't know, better. It's okay. Better. Thank you. All right. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless in this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Someone out there. Kol haolam kulo gesher tzar meo. Kol haolam gesher tzar. Kol haolam kulo gesher tzar meo. Kol haolam gesher ha'ikar ha'ikar lo nefached olam lo nefachד ha'ikar ha'ikar lo nefachד olam lo nefachד העולם כולו narrow bridge. I will not be afraid, knowing you are with me. As I walk along this very narrow bridge, I will not fear, knowing you are here. V'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo nefached. Before I had children, I was in a Jewish kirtan band with my friends in Chicago, Rabbi Sam Feinsmith and Yoni Saracen and Hannah Shefsky. And kirtan is a Hindu form of chant that is a call-response devotional practice. And it means recite, praise, glorify. And so we would take Jewish psalms and create kirtan chants out of them. And the one that we're about to do right now is actually the only one that we adapted from an actual kirtan tune that, if you want to look up, the composer is Krishna Das, and the tune is Sitaram, and we've repurposed it so it's not idol worship, okay? And again, this psalm, Psalm 118, you know, when we're doing Hallel, I feel like the place this is most prominently seen or most frequently seen is Hallel, which means praise. But interestingly, the words, Min ha-metzar karati ya, from the narrow place I called out to you, that doesn't sound like praise. That sounds like a person stuck in a narrow place. Anani b'merchavya, you answered me with great expansiveness. Oh, there it is. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chazdo. And from that place of expansiveness, kind of like Hagar when she looks up and sees the well, right? When she thinks there is no way out of this certain death for her and her child, but then looks up and sees the well and knows she's going to be okay, and not just okay, she's going to be the mother of a nation. Same with Abraham and Sarah. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov ki le'olam chazdo. We say it at every baby naming and bris. So, repeat after me. At any point you feel moved to stand up and dance, or, you know, like I can't clap and play guitar at the same time, but like, please, if you feel moved. Min ha-metzar karati ya, anani b'merchavya.
Min ha-metzar karati ya, anani b'merchavya.
Min ha-metzar karati ya, anani b'merchavya. as long as, I was going to say, as long as people are risen, maybe we should do We Rise. Turn the page. Is this one that you guys do here?
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, that's from the narrow place, that's often the place that creativity is born, frustratingly. You know, you talk to anybody who's gone through a hard thing, cancer, addiction, real loss, rejection, AKA life. Did somebody just say life? Yeah. But you give it enough distance to look back and say, but did it teach you something? And more often than not, it was your greatest teacher. Would you have asked for this in the first place? No. But it became the birthplace of wisdom and creativity. And so this prayer, this song, this statement by Batya Levine, who's, one of the people, as Rabbi Sid said, who's, writing the New American Jewish Songbook, she wrote this in the wake of the 2016 election. So I invite you to rise if you like. Otherwise, you don't have to. It's not like it's the Baruch Hu. But the song literally says we rise, so And I'm just going to stamp here. Just get a little beat going. You join me in this if you want. We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise. All of the children rise. Elders with wisdom rise. Ancestors surround us, rise. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise, up from the wreckage, rise, with tears and with courage, rise, fighting for life we rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise, humbly hearted, rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, one more time, we rise, humbly hearted, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise. All right, I want to do two more. Is that okay? All right. All right, great. You can take a seat if you want. Rabbi Scott said he wanted to wrap up by 12:15, but he said also people will be game if you want to go all day. I thought we could maybe do something in between. I hope this isn't inappropriate to say. There's a public intellectual named Dan Savage who offers the 3 G's as a good way to be in the world. And the 3 G's are good, game, and generous. And I feel like good means like skilled, knows what they're doing. And that you all are that. And game, like ready for anything. And you all are that. And generous, giving. Like I have felt very supported by Cheryl, by Aaron, by, first of all, Rabbi Scott, Rabbi Sid, by Mark here today, all the musicians last night, and all of you really just like showing up with your whole spirit. What a gift. I feel like on the receiving end of all of your generosity. Thank you. Whew. All right. This song is just a nice reminder that our mental health and our spirit are renewable resources. And that we draw from the same powerful well of love, of God, whatever you want to call it, of spirit. So, sounds like this. Maybe we'll even do this one without guitar. Sounds like this. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well, to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring. Bring it back up here so you can keep your microphone though, Aaron. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run dry. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run. One more time. I will go down to the well. Let the water ring me like a bell. Let the water rock me like a child. For this well will not run dry. For this well will not run